NBC26 live at 10. Wage disparity. Disabled workers at Goodwill stores in Northeast Wisconsin making less than minimum wage. It's legal. We'll tell you how. Understanding security. The Green Bay Packers clearing up confusion on new stadium rules that had fans up out of their seats. And learning to fly. The sky's the limit for these Green Bay students taking their education to the clouds.
Closely watching yet more thunderstorms to the west. We'll let you know if and when they get here coming up.
It's our big story at 10. Disabled workers at Goodwill stores making less than minimum wage, while nationally many top execs within the organization make six figures. Tonight's NBC's Rock Center with Brian Williams investigated the employment practice that is perfectly legal but catching criticism.
Your regional CEOs, some of them are making $500,000 or more. How do you justify that disparity?
I think these leaders are having a great impact in terms of new solutions, in terms of innovation.
Goodwill and other companies can pay less than minimum wage based on the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938. Tonight, the National Federation for the Blind is calling the pay scale unfair. NBC26 spoke with the CEO of Goodwill's North Central Wisconsin headquarters about the pay practice and asked how many of its employees make less than minimum wage.
Bob Peterson's North Central Wisconsin region covers 35 counties and employs 1,600 people. 40 of those employees have a severe disability that qualifies them for a labor provision called 14C.
There are a whole lot of people who because of the nature of their disability, are unable to compete in the workplace.
Goodwill and many other companies can pay certain employees less than minimum wage. A breach of civil rights, according to Dr. Mark Maurer, president of the National Federation of the Blind.
We want to tell Goodwill we're not willing to be segregated and we're not willing to be exploited.
Here in Wisconsin, Peterson says 14C gives people who would otherwise be passed over the opportunity to go to work. And by law, those making less than minimum wage are paid based on their productivity.
Some jobs in the community pay $14 an hour. That's the commensurate wage. If they work here and they're working at half the speed or half the rate, we pay them $7 an hour.
Peterson says of the 40 people he employs under 14C, their average hourly wage is $3.81.
The National Federation of the Blind says it will continue to oppose the law and companies paying anything less than minimum wage. We're following a developing story tonight. The controversial state budget has passed the Senate, but it wasn't an easy road along the way. Democrats used a procedural move to block a final vote on the budget last night until 12:02 this morning. When the vote came, all Democrats and one Republican voted no. The budget heads to the governor's desk for review, but he is expected to sign it by July 1st. The governor released a statement today saying, quote, "I'm proud of the legislature's work on this budget, which truly invests in Wisconsin and our priorities. The budget will help bring more prosperity to the people of Wisconsin." Marinette police are investigating 2 reports of suspicious men who are targeting children. Both of the reports happened on Kearney Boulevard in the city. On Wednesday, a man knocked on a door asking for a boy for his younger sister by name. Then a day later, just 6 blocks away, a man began following a young boy. He got scared and ran home. Police say the man took off in a blue pickup truck and are unclear if the incidents are related.
I would urge the public to use caution, but until we find out who it is and what their intent was, I wouldn't jump to conclusions.
Police describe the men as ranging from late 20s to early 40s with brown hair. Anyone with information is asked to call the Marinette Police Department. One person is in jail tonight in Oshkosh after a reckless driving incident that resembled bumper cars. It happened late last night along West 6th Avenue. Police took calls of 3 cars driving down the road, crashing into one another. One man was arrested after aiming a BB gun at the other 2 vehicles. Turning to weather now, our first day of summer gave us rain, and it looks like it's going to be hot and humid for the weekend. NBC26 meteorologist Brian Nisnansky has our first forecast. Brian.
That's right, Jonathan. As we head through the evening, most of us have been dry, but as we look at the precision satellite and radar, there's a couple things to note here. There's a cluster of thunderstorms, strong thunderstorms, moving into western Wisconsin. These will come into play later on tonight. But there's also a couple scattered showers popping up across far southern Wisconsin this late evening, and that's where we'll take a little closer look here on the precision radar. Here's Fond du Lac, and you can see maybe a few sprinkles back towards Ripon, back towards Marquette and Green Lake County, a little bit heavier as you get down towards, say, Beaver Dam. But most of us are going to be dry here for at least the next few hours. Temperatures are still in the 70s. Also the dew points, the magical number with humidity levels in the 60s, so feeling sticky. By the time you wake up tomorrow morning, 70 with a chance of storms. More on that chance of storms coming up.
NBC26 is your official Packers station. The Packers announcing some changes today to the security policy at Lambeau Field. This after the NFL released a list of items now banned from stadiums. Tonight, the Packers head of security has some clarification on what's allowed and what's not. NBC26's Alex Hagan has more.
Just last week, the NFL announced that they would limit the size of bags at all NFL stadiums in response to the Boston attacks. Now, the Packers have already started to implement new security changes, and today's conference was just a way to spread awareness to fans on new security. After the NFL's announcement to limit bags and ban certain items from stadiums, some confusion among fans.
Many questions
as to what could be brought in. Backpacks, fanny packs, and larger bags already banned, now limited to 12 by 6 by 12 bags.
That bag be clear, plastic.
But the hot topic among fans was seat cushions. Packers security wanted to provide more information on that rule for fans. Now the Packers want to clarify that seat pads and seat backs are allowed in the stadium, but items that are not allowed are seat cushions because they have a concealable pocket. They also want to prepare fans as they start to implement these changes.
Have signage throughout camp, training camp, as those folks who come to training camp get to understand what the policy is, have some display bags out.
Most fans have no problems with the new security.
I don't think it infringes upon the fan experience, so it's a good thing.
They don't want anything to be smuggled in or snuck in. You know, I guess you have to be safe.
As they prepare for another season at Lambeau. Now there will also be a special entry gate for people with medical needs who require larger bags. The Packers plan to have a walk-through demonstration sometime next month to show fans what they should expect on game day. In Green Bay, Alex Hagan, NBC26.
Thanks, Alex. If you want to be the first to work in the new South End Zone at Lambeau Field, you're in luck. The Green and Gold are hosting a job fair tomorrow, Saturday, to help fill the positions created by the End Zone Expansion Project. The Pack looking to fill as many as 700 positions. This season, Lambeau will have an additional 30 concession stands. If you're interested, head to Lambeau Field between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. Saturday. One of Bay Beach's newest and most popular rides is set to reach a major milestone any day now. One lucky coaster fan will be the 1 millionth rider. The roller coaster opened about 2 years ago, but it's one of the oldest wooden coasters in the U.S. and famous for being Elvis Presley's favorite. If you're waiting for the summer's strawberries, you might have to wait a little longer. The spring's cool temperatures delay the growing season, so many farmers across Wisconsin either haven't started picking yet or just getting started. This year's season is expected to be short, but still a pretty good one.
Actually, the strawberries are looking very good. They're starting to put size on with the cool weather, and cool and wet weather, they really size up and get nice.
The season should end around mid-July. Growers say just a few more warm, sunny days should make all the difference. Coming up next on NBC26, if you want to try some exquisite food, downtown Green Bay has an event you won't want to miss.
Closing the Gap, Lombardi, the Packers dynasty, and the pursuit of excellence. Willie Davis talks about his new book later in sports.
And as advertised, warm and humid conditions spreading across the Midwest, but that's only half the story. We're talking about the thunderstorms coming up.